Have you ever wondered what causes earthquakes? Why does the ground beneath our feet suddenly start shaking? They're a mystery to many, but earthquakes are actually natural phenomena that occur due to the sudden release of energy in the Earth's crust. This energy travels in the form of seismic waves, invisible ripples that spread out from the source of the quake. These waves can cause the ground to shake, sometimes mildly, sometimes violently, and it's this shaking that we experience as an earthquake. When the shaking is severe, it can lead to widespread destruction and, sadly, loss of life. The causes of these powerful events are varied and fascinating, and they're what we'll be exploring throughout this video series. So now that you know what earthquakes are, it's time to delve deeper into what causes them. The primary cause of most earthquakes is something you might have heard about: the movement of tectonic plates. Now, imagine the Earth's crust as a cracked eggshell, divided into large and small pieces. These are the tectonic plates, sections of the Earth's lithosphere that float on the semi-fluid asthenosphere underneath. These plates are not static, they're constantly moving, albeit very slowly. Picture two enormous slabs of rock sliding past each other, or colliding, or one sliding underneath the other. This movement generates enormous stress along the boundaries of the plates. Like a rubber band stretched to its limit, there comes a point when the rocks can't take the stress anymore, and when that happens, the energy is released in the form of an earthquake. So, in a nutshell, most earthquakes are a result of the Earth's outer shell, the lithosphere, adjusting to the movements of these tectonic plates. As you can see, the movement of tectonic plates plays a significant role in causing earthquakes. But tectonic plate movements aren't the only cause of earthquakes. Volcanic activity, for instance, plays a significant role in generating seismic waves. Picture this. As magma rises towards the Earth's surface, it exerts pressure on the surrounding rocks. This pressure can cause the rocks to fracture, triggering an earthquake. These volcanic earthquakes are often localized around the volcanic regions. Now, let's shift gears and talk about us, the humans. Certain activities we engage in, like mining or the creation of large reservoirs behind dams, can induce seismic activity. This is known as reservoir-induced seismicity. And then there's hydraulic fracturing, or fracking as it's commonly called, which involves injecting high-pressure fluids into the ground to release natural gas or oil. This process can induce earthquakes as well, typically smaller in magnitude, but still potentially damaging, especially in populated areas. So both natural phenomena like volcanic activity and human interventions can trigger earthquakes. Now that we understand what causes earthquakes, let's turn our attention to their effects. The most immediate and noticeable effect of an earthquake is the ground shaking. This can range from a mild tremor to a violent shake, toppling buildings, bridges, and other structures. In some instances, particularly with larger quakes, the ground itself can rupture along fault lines. This surface rupture results in displacement, forming cracks and fissures. Earthquakes near coastlines or underwater can induce tsunamis, giant ocean waves that wreak havoc when they crash ashore, causing flooding and further destruction. In mountainous regions, the tremors can trigger landslides and avalanches, destabilizing the terrain and causing massive rock and snowslides. And let's not forget the secondary hazards. Earthquakes can lead to fires, cause soil liquefaction where saturated ground acts like a liquid, and even trigger aftershocks, adding to the initial damage and complicating rescue efforts. Clearly, the impacts of an earthquake can be extensive and devastating. In summary, earthquakes are natural events with significant impacts on our world. They result from the sudden release of energy in the Earth's crust due to tectonic plate movements, volcanic activity, and even certain human activities. The seismic waves generated can cause the ground to shake, sometimes leading to widespread destruction and loss of life. These phenomena can cause ground shaking, surface rupture, and even trigger tsunamis, landslides, and avalanches. Secondary hazards such as fires, liquefaction, and aftershocks can further complicate rescue and recovery efforts. Given the far-reaching effects of earthquakes, it's crucial to underscore the importance of preparedness, mitigation, and response measures. We can minimize the adverse effects of earthquakes by understanding their causes and effects, and by implementing effective strategies to deal with them. Remember, understanding earthquakes is the first step towards protecting ourselves and our communities from their devastating effects.